Boo! There's your jump scare.
Test.
Test.
Hello.
Whoa.
Duet. What would be our duet song? I'm terrible at singing.
Evangelion.
Oh, Evangelion. Yes. Yes, 100%.
You know, she still like goes around performing the vocalist like at these sold out concerts.
Really?
Just like
Just
they just
that.
want to hear the Evangelion theme song.
I would do that too.
Kind of amazing,
I
honestly.
would definitely go to one of the just to hear that song.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna come on camera. We have more than just Andy today, as you can see. Why am I in the middle?
I was gonna say you're in the middle.
Why am I in the center?
It's your computer. You
This
want,
is what I get for.
you want me to be in the center? I don't mind.
I don't know.
You're fine.
Okay,
You're
you
good.
go ahead.
Okay, all right.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Andy, front and center.
Direct all your hate towards me.
They said, cat. How's your cat doing? Can you guys see us okay, by the way, and hear us?
Carl's kind of out of the camera. Yeah.
It's kind of hard to. What do we want to look at? Do we want to look at ourselves? Do we want to look at
The side chat is
the side chat?
Yeah,
Yeah.
side chat, probably.
We can focus on Winters a bit.
All right.
And then-
Yeah.
That way we can see you.
No one needs to see me. That's fine.
I can see Annie has beautiful glasses. Yeah, that's new. I
It's
get it.
all the late nights working on Zenith that now I'm blind, you know. Before we get started, I guess I'll just go around and do a quick round of intros. Some of you guys know who I am, but for those of you that don't, I am Andy. I am one of the co-founders and CEO of VRMMO. Yeah.
Hi everyone, I'm Kristine or Saldori on Discord. I'm the head of operations. When I first joined VRMMO, I was chief of staff, and then now it's head of ops. So good to see you all.
Hey everyone, my name's Carlo. I'm the studio art director at VRMMO. I just joined about a year ago, so it's been fun kind of like integrating myself as part of the team.
What's the bow bow? What does bow
Yeah, what
bow
does
mean?
bow bow?
Like, I know it's a meme, but like, what does it actually mean to you guys?
I've been saying it too, but I don't know what it means.
Like, what does it actually mean?
What
Oh
is
God,
this?
is
What
this
is this?
appropriate?
No, this is going to
It's
be
not-
like everywhere.
I'm just like, before I answer any questions, I have to know what this means.
Andy, why?
We can sit here all day. All right. No, because bow bow means like a hug. It's like, it means hug in Chinese, in Mandarin. So when people like say, like kids will come up to their moms and dads and say bow bow, you know? And so that's like my context.
Yeah, this is a reverse AMA. We ask you questions.
So,
reverse
Anyways,
I'm, really excited to kind of talk to you guys today. I'm sure there are a ton of questions, and we want to be as open and candid as we can be about this kind of stuff, right? So, without further ado, you'll see us go back and forth, and maybe we'll talk amongst each other every once in a while. But, hopefully you get to see You get some of your questions answered, and also see, a day in the life of VRMMO with four of the team members talking together. So yeah, you want to take it away, Winters?
Sure, I'll just read out some of them as we go here. So we got, is there a planned restart of all characters? Was the first question.
No, there is not a planned reset. I'm assuming is what you mean. A reset of all characters. So, the Last City, you'll keep and retain all of your progress. But if you do want to try out Infinite Realms, we're going to be giving you guys a level boost and possibly also giving you guys some like really amazing gear to help you guys like kind of try it out and make that transition. And as a way of thanking you guys, and again, part of our cultural values is to respect the grind. So even though it is a new game mode and it isn't the same experience, we wanted to make sure that people at least were able to save some of that. And we'll also be giving the first cosmetic for free for anyone that bought Zenith before we went free to play.
Just to be clear, though, like character progression during alpha will get reset.
Character progression for
the closed alpha right now. Yeah, that's contained to the closed alpha. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, the other thing I want to say here is for those of you that are in the alpha, everything in the alpha is still under NDA. So you can ask questions about things that have happened in the blog post. You can ask higher level questions, but any specific alpha related questions, we'll have to wait until we get a bit more public with that.
Can you guys turn your camera off and on? Some people are saying for some reason they can only see me now.
Okay. How about now?
Fix
Can you
it,
guys
hopefully. Okay, so we'll do the next one while we're okay. So Chizzy sees both, so that's okay. Will titles we earned in Zenith, the Last City, also be used in the new game mode?
like character titles?
Yeah.
I don't think that that's currently implemented, but yeah, I mean, it's something that we could definitely consider down the line. Nothing I can commit to right now.
Well, this one comes up a lot. So will the Last City still be updated regularly?
Yeah. So that's a really good question, right? And it kind of homes into the heart of a lot of the different trade-offs and decisions that we had to make, and fully understand that not everybody's gonna be happy with the things that we're talking about today. I want to acknowledge that and just say that I hear you guys. I don't think there was a case where we could have like made everybody happy with such a radical change, but we're trying to do our best. Things like progression, giving you guys level boosts, giving you guys the first cosmetic. That was all after like talking to you guys in the forums over the past couple of days, and also talking to the team and figuring out like what could we do given this was the business strategy decision we decided to make. I can't commit to like actively updating the Last City like right after the launch, right? We're gonna have to see how things go with Infinite Realms. But the reason we decided to package everything together is like our hope is that people will, come in. A lot more people will try the game because it's free to play. They'll get this quick hit of adrenaline from playing Infinite Realms, and that some of them may consider going back to Zenith, right? Like when you see when people Zenith the Last City, sorry, when you see other titles go from paid to free to play, or you see free to play titles launch, typically you see an order of magnitude more users, or 2 orders of magnitude sometimes more users than you might see on a paid game. And so imagine if like we had 10 to 100 times more players, right? We would only need like 10% of those players to want to try the Last City in order for us to maintain just a steady state right? If more users tried it, it would actually mean there'd be more players that would be coming into Last City.
Um, how much will the abilities in Infinite Realms differ from the Last City?
How much will the abilities? I think that's something you guys heard.
Well, we want to save some juice for later, but they're pretty different and new, a good kind of different. Just as an example, like the Tempest Blades that we did show off, that's pretty different than the abilities you've seen in the Last City. So there's more like that.
Yeah, we want it to feel a lot more dynamic and give the players a lot more choice moment to moment. And hopefully the abilities are designed in the way that they can flow into each other.
Can I have my Sprite?
And also,
will any of the new logo.
Oh no, I was just saying, feel free to shout out who's asking the question too. Like I don't know if we want to do that. I think last time we asked
yeah,
that.
sure, we can do that.
One thing I'm
we can
having
ask-
a lot of side chats today. Oh, no updates, rip the Last City, whatever. If even Infinite Realms makes like a good amount of revenue, right, and has a good user base, like I get what you guys are saying about updates to Last City, right, but like that's healthy for the Last City as well, because more funds, cosmetics and in-app purchases means that we have more money to support everything we're working on, the Last City included, right? And so like it's really not a function for me of like whether the Last City is immediately more successful, and it's more like, hey, if Infinite Realms is really successful and it also happens to bring like the same number of users to the Last City as it was before it launched, we can then invest more money into both things, right? But we'll have to see how that goes.
Okay, so the next one was from Octarine. So will the Last City be updated to use the new locomotion? Or I guess parts of it, potentially.
So like the parkour that we
Right.
showed off, right?
Probably what we showed off today, yeah.
The gameplay style is pretty different for Infinite Realms. It'd be interesting to think about what taking some like grind rails and everything like that to the Last City world. I'm not sure if it makes sense, but is something that we have been thinking about.
Yeah, I mean, we're as a development team, we're always considering like easy wins for the community, right? So
it's not theoretically impossible for those things. You have to understand that like it's not just about moving these features over, which would be fairly easy to do, not trivial, but not hard. It's about building content and things that work in relation to those features, all the level design, all the artwork, all the changes to the existing zones that have to be done. I can say if we do work on the Last City in the future, that we will incorporate a ton of the feedback we're getting for both the Last City and Infinite Realms, right? We do listen to the feedback. We do listen to the feedback. Yeah.
So this one might address some of it.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead, Chris. Yeah.
Oh, okay. This one was from Gray. So this, Kristen actually liked this question. So this might help them understand a little bit from some of this side chat. What other revenue / this is from Gray. What other revenue / new player attraction strategies did you consider and discard before coming up with your free-to-play edition plan for the game? And why did you discard those ideas instead? In other words, what about this free-to-play, pay-to-play strategy made it better than going forward with the game's future? Or another way of going forward with the game's future, sorry.
Yeah, I like this question because it was kind of related to another question we've been getting a lot too, which is why didn't you just make the existing Zenith free to play?
Right.
Like, why not just do that? And I mean, it's something to think about, but like, would that work with the free to play audience? Would people come in and actually stick and stay if they played the current version of Zenith. Like if we remove the price tag and just was like, this is free now, like would people stay? Does that serve the existing VR market? And yeah, so that's for months we went back and forth on that.
Yeah.
Okay. Crumb wanted to know how long Infinite Realms has been worked on. Been a while since it was on paper originally.
I feel like we had pieces of it for a bit. Like we do game jams as a team to kind of refresh the creative juices, and we had pieces of it. So it's hard to say where it really like began, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, you can see pieces of like ideas that are floating around even as early as the floating islands portion of it.
The lore, the lore there.
When did we launch 1.3?
1.3 was last spring. Time is a blur at Ramen VR. Because we moved.
Yeah. It's been we're constantly like working super hard to try to make this work, right? But I think it's like sorry, 1.4. 1.4.
Oh, 1.4 is
October.
Around +3.
Yeah. So I don't know exactly when, but like it's been over like half a year, right? We've been cranking on this for a while. A lot of the stuff that we work on, as you guys will see, like dovetails into some of the stuff that we've been building. It's not all unrelated, and it wasn't clear. It's not like any of that stuff prior to the development of 1.4 affected the roadmap for making Zenith better, but like, it's not an either or type of thing. Both things were considered, I would say. We have to, as developers, we have to kind of look forward.
Okay. Very wanted to know, would she be able to see her friends online in the Last City and in Infinite Realms? As her fear is that guilds and friendships be split between both games.
Who wants to take this one?
That's a good question. I think it makes sense if you were able to see your guildmates and your friends. So, yes.
So I think it means like would you be able to see people online,
like across
in the Last City,
both modes?
Right.
when you're in
Like which game they're playing, I guess, is my thought of this.
Sure. Yeah, I think it makes sense for us to put some development time, but we'd have to do some triaging, because
there are guilds in Infinite Realms, to be clear, too.
Yeah, we have friends and guilds in Infinite Realms.
Okay.
How will a typical mission/encounter go in Realms? So I guess kind of like what the flow is, like the game loop.
Like, what is sorry? Like, what? Like, what's the core?
It was a kind of generic question, but I think they kind of want to know what does it look like in like game loop? Like you log in and what is your flow? I think that's kind of their thought here.
Okay.
We're trying to see what we're allowed to say.
What can we share?
Right?
You're dropped into.
So I keep looking at Andy. Like, what can we say?
And you fight things.
There's you level up and you it's session based.
Yeah, I mean, there's a social hub and there's fast paced short form missions. There's still itemization, you get loot and you upgrade loot.
We can talk a little bit about it, right? Like,
yeah,
like,
go for it.
Like basically, the elevator pitch kind of thing is you're dropped into this like beautiful kind of social hub, the Nexus district, right? And it's got all of these cool things you can do, you know, with the people that are hanging out there. And we're looking for ways to make it even more social. But then you like run out into these essentially different parts of the different exits from the Nexus district, right? Instead of one exit, there's now like 3 different exits, and you're instantly you get put into an instance, and aimlessly matchmaked, and there's no loading, but you just go into another instance with like your friends or whoever you grouped up with, and then you try to, you know, rapid fire take these quick kind of essentially dungeon or raid runs, with a difference being that it focuses on a lot of locomotion and some of the movement mechanics that we're showing off today. So it plays very different from other kind of dungeon runners. And you finish that quick loop, and then you upgrade your gear, and you come back to the city, and you look at, you know, you look on the leaderboard and see how you've done, right? So like at a high level, that's how it works. And because we've built a completely new kind of proc gen system, you know, the idea is that we'd actually rotate these things out on a weekly basis. So there'd be new content to test basically on a daily basis. New content, new things to try out, new loops to run through.
Is that a good overview?
Yep.
It works for me. Let's see what they think.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like one of the main focuses that we've been putting into Infinite Realms is reducing as much friction as possible. So like you will probably see very few loading screens, which is great.
I'm going to kind of paraphrase some of these. So Divine just basically wants to know, will 1.0 get an update with using 1.0 as TLC with this update to address some of the things that they're noticing more in the end game? So like ASJ scrapping that we talked about in the previous AMA, just things like that, like a couple, just a couple little bugs that they had. They would want those addressed.
I would love to fix
That's
those.
something we can do.
My job as producer is to look at those almost every day and figure out when and how we can fix those. I would love to fix those, but it's hard to commit to an update right now.
Okay. Or if we want to maybe take a couple just from the chat as well. We'll go grab some more questions. We basically went through our list that we had already.
I would be happy to spar with what I'm seeing in the chat right now, because it's
By all means, Andy, go for it.
I'm gonna like, you know, defend our decisions a bit. We are not shutting Zenith down. You will still get access to Zenith. How many MMOs develop the game for 2 years, adding new features? I think it's really unfair for people to say, "Oh, we're just like shutting it down," or that we're not, we're like or we're asking for a refund, because no, we're not. The game is still fucking there, right, guys? So just chill out. We'll if we can make enough money to continue investing in the Last City, we will. But at the end of the day, this is kind of a business we're running, right? Yeah. I said if there are updates. True. I'm not taking any of that back. Would sunset be a better word? No, because I don't think it is, because
shutting down.
that means there's no end of life plan for Zenith the Last City right now, or for Infinite Realms, right? Sunset would basically be like, hey, we're shutting the servers down in 6 months. Thanks everybody for trying out the game. We're committed to paying for the server costs, and we're committed to continue developing the game, and leaving the existing game as is for now, right? That's not to say that we're never going to come back to it. Like sunsetting would mean like there's an end of life cycle that's planned. Okay, how many games get lifetime updates? I think what you guys are trying to say is, right, you want Zenith to continue being a live service game. And we want it to be a live service game too. We've just told you that that business model doesn't work. We spent 2 years and millions of dollars trying to make it work. And, you know, despite best efforts and people working super hard, we just couldn't get it going, right? MMOs are hard. The expectation is that we're going to build something like Sword Art Online and WoW and FF14. And I would love to be able to build that too. And if today we had like 300 million VR users or the same amount of PC users, then it would be a feasible thing. But we just don't. VR hasn't grown as quickly as we would like. And the audience for VR MMOs hasn't grown as quickly as we would like. You know, like to be in the dominant player in a space that is basically a niche is not sustainable, right? If you look at some of the most popular games out there, they have several orders of magnitude more revenue, more users than we do, even though we're the #1 VR MMO, right?
I mean, sustainability is key, right? Like I love working on this fucking game, and I'd love to keep working on this game, and that's what we're trying to explore all these different options.
Sure, of course yeah, exactly. Like to Carlo's point, you know, I think it's okay. One of the things that might not be clear is how much we care about this community, and how much we listen to you guys. And I think part of the reason that is because of the nature of how hard MMO development is. In that we can make, I'll give you a concrete example. For most of the 2 years that we were working on Zenith, the Last City, we had a list of top 10 most requested fixes from the community that we would fix with every patch, right? If that's not listening directly to what the community wants, then I don't know what is. You guys asked for player housing, you guys asked for raids, you guys asked for like PvP, a bunch of, okay, we didn't put fishing in, but that's the one thing we really didn't listen to you guys on. And you know, we regretted I'll be the first to admit, like, you know, we should have listened to you guys more about the fast fly stuff. But guess what? You can basically fast fly in the game now, right? So, and the reason why I think it's hard for you guys to see this, I don't blame it on you guys. It's just because an MMO is so large that if you just fix one piece of it, like it's really not noticeable, right? Like because the scope of the project is so large, let's say we fix one thing, maybe only 1% of people will see it. If we have a smaller core game loop and like we fix one thing, it'll be a lot more noticeable, right? And so, you know, that's the main thing I want to push back on all these years. Like, yes, we've done things that we thought would move the needle, but we've also really listened to you guys and the features you guys have been asking for as well.
Like one constant that I kept on saying was like polish, and I'm hoping that with Infinite Realms that you guys see a level of polish and compared to some of our other releases. Thoughts?
Yeah, for sure.
Going through the questions in the thing again, this one could be fun to answer, but are randomly generated dungeons a possibility?
Yes. You mean, yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Are you talking about in the Last City or
Infinite Realms, which
Yeah, I'm taking this as Infinite Realms.
yeah, we can just tell you guys now, right? Like, yeah, we are using procedural content generation for Infinite Realms, but we're building it in a way that lets us edit it to make sure it feels more fun and unique. Mm-hmm. So it's not like every time you go in, it's procedurally generated. It's more like we're rotating it out on a regular basis, sometimes on a daily basis.
Kate's question there is kind of neat, and I think we can answer that one. Is there a way to have seamless loading screens instead of having a black screen all the time?
Is that on question?
No, in the Last City, how they see loading screens constantly. So they're assuming.
Not black screen, it's the menu, right?
Yeah.
That is one of the things that we can definitely consider. There are ways like me and Carlo were actually just brainstorming this, right? Like there are ways to kind of incorporate both of these into a tighter experience that benefits, you know, the MMO side of things as well. Things that we're really excited about potentially, but we really have to see how the game performs, right? We just can't keep running at a loss perpetually, and we do have a lot of runway, right? But if there's one thing I've learned about business, it's you do not run things at a loss until you run out of money. You have to start making money at some point, and so you know, like that's what our team and that's what's expected of us, right? Now we want to do it in a way that's fair, which is why we try to do it as fairly as possible here.
Ceciana wants to know if they can buy merch because they like your hoodie.
Yeah, that's the way we're gonna stick around. We're gonna become a merchandising. Why didn't I think about it?
Towels. Ah, man.
I've been asked about for a long time. It's just, you know, with where
Yeah.
we're focusing at first, it's hard to. But I totally get it, Ceciana. Pretty cool sweater.
Yeah, Christie's like rocking her Seijiko sweater.
Yeah, it's like a custom one we got made.
I think we can answer this because I mean it's a pretty easy answer, but someone was wondering if we could just do more advertising for the Last City, but I know that's something we did do a lot of.
We've spent we've done a lot to try to advertise. Honestly, like the VR market is not something that's very advertisable right now. So really what you really want to do is to like get hype from content creators and influencers to cover your game, right? Which, you know, like the way you do that is by building a good game, essentially. We've always believed that like if we had a really good game, then the players would come. You guys might disagree with some of the product decisions we make, which is totally your prerogative and it's totally fair, right? But the reason we've made those decisions is to make game good instead of you know, focus on bringing in like more users.
I can't quite pronounce this, but like Cumberbatch with hats, I guess maybe. But this one I can just answer from the community side. They just wanted to know if they can change their character names or delete old characters. You can do that now. That you talk to Trim, you can change your character's name, or you can delete your character in Skywave. We're honestly kind of running low on stuff we could talk about in the AMA, so we might want to take some from the chat. The AMA channel. Most people are asking questions here.
I'll just add like a extra thought about like the VR market. We haven't lost hope in that like VR we haven't lost hope. Like we think VR will get there and we're going to be there when it does. It's a longer game to play, right? But we do hope that one day everyone can see the appeal and that hardware is a lot more accessible in terms of like comfort and price point, right? It's a pretty expensive hobby to have if you're playing VR.
We're still 100% committed to VR.
It's still in the name, right?
It's in the name of our company. So.
Vampora, we already have full body tracking. I'll just answer that straight there. For Steam, it already exists. We've
been playing around with some of the prototype meta stuff, the inside out full body tracking on some like just game jam stuff we've been doing. That's really cool. So, you know, it's not impossible that we'd look to bring full body tracking via the Quest 3 to Zenith, both, you know, Infinite Realms and the Last City.
Yeah, some people are just pointing out there's some other questions, but some of these I already know that we can't talk about, so I'm trying to filter them for you. Lex did ask an interesting question just around AI. Since there's so many new AI things going on, is there something that we could potentially bring into the Zenith universe, like an interactive storyline, etc.?
Like the NVIDIA stuff.
What's the NVIDIA stuff?
Oh, like LLM driven AI stuff. That's really cool. You know, there's a lot of cool startups out there doing APIs for exactly that. I don't know that we're quite ready not we as in ROM and VR, but the industry is quite ready to support like real-time AI communications in a robust way. But I would love for that kind of game to exist, right? That's the dream. You have an AI companion or an NPC that you build a real bond with. Like that's super cool. And we're certainly exploring ways to build strong relationships with, it's something that we've been looking into, is all I can say.
One person I'm going to kind of summarize because it's a long message, but Manly PMS, I guess. He just is basically stating like during launch there was a lot of like we had a lot of like server issues. There was like lag and things like that. So they're curious like how would we do things differently this time with like how are we improving the servers for this launch?
We are improving the servers for this one. Some of you guys, and this has been discussed more in the alpha, but I'll unclassify it just a little bit. Some people have been concerned about the latency issues that Zenith has as a game. Some of the MMO stuff that won't port into a action combat ARPG experience. And I can tell you that we're actively working on latency and improving our server architecture and doing better client-side prediction like right now. So it'll be better than it is in alpha, and definitely better than it is in Zenith, the Last City.
Yeah, I'm trying to find something that we can still, if you guys want to grab one, I'll try to find another question in here. But like I said, they've kind of slowed down a bit on this side anyway.
What does well mean? I can tell you that we don't. While I want us to make money off of Zenith, Infinite Realms, and the Last City, it's never been the primary goal for that, right? For us, it's just about giving ourselves enough runway and enough revenue so that we can build sustainably. And so my definition of success is actually our user base. Do we have users that love the game? Do we have enough of them? And are they sticking around for a long time? Cool. You guys want to have anything you want to add to that?
No, I'm just looking at that giant paragraph that's popped up.
Really nothing like I mean, what you can do to help support that is get people to try out the free-to-play version, Infinite Realms, and if we want people to like jump into the Last City, right? Like the more we see, people try out different modes of the game, that's going to inform us on what the market wants, right?
One person was asking if there's anything besides cosmetics that they could expect to buy with real life currency in the new game.
Nothing concrete yet. I mean, we've thought about potentially Battle Pass again. I'll answer this. We wouldn't ever want to be pay to win, right? So no gacha system, no unfair boosts. I mean, Battle Pass is definitely an option we're considering, but the way that I view that is more like it's a subscription, right? It's just a fancy word for subscription in a free-to-play game. That's what Battle Pass means to me.
Have we considered doing like item transfers between players, like trading and things like that?
Yes, we have built actually prototypes of the system.
I remember we answered that one the last AMA as well, but they may not have been present.
Patreon. So Patreon just wouldn't make us honestly, like it wouldn't be enough. I can tell you that right away. That Patreon is fine. Like it's even in the name, right? It's for influencers and content creators and smaller dev studios. It does not come close to supporting a game. It's always felt kind of weird for me to have a Patreon. I don't know when other game developers do it and they keep theirs up. even though they're selling the game. That's always or like that's always felt weird to me. Like your Patreon is more, I think, for like content, right, and content creators. If we're building a game and we've received investment and stuff like that, it's our goal to make a good game that will stand on its own legs. If Patreon was an option to be margin neutral, we would have done it. I don't think we would have made enough.
This one's interesting. It's getting a lot of attention in the chat. Oh, go ahead, Christy.
No, I just said games are expensive and they take a lot of time and effort, and people to make them. It takes a lot of time, effort, and people to make good games too, right? Like actually, yeah. How many games out there have we seen that were complete and just like not good? So games are hard, but we love them. So we're not going anywhere anytime soon. Go ahead, Winters.
Yeah, so this just got a lot of attention, and I mean, you could probably just answer pretty quick, but basically, to summarize it, if the Last City ends up failing, would you consider releasing the source code to the community?
If Zenith the Last City ends up failing, would we consider releasing the source code to the community?
Yeah, I'm bringing it up because there's just so many reactions to it right now.
I don't know. Is the answer? I don't want to. I'm not.
That's
even
fair.
thinking.
Yeah, I know we don't want to think about that. It's fair. It was just
like in the event that it doesn't happen, I don't know. There's various reasons why it wouldn't be as easy as just giving it to people, right? There's IP restriction. We have deals with certain platforms and stuff like that that would actually make this like pretty much impossible. So like it's not even like whether I'd like to do something like that. It comes down to, again, like agreements that we have with.
We also have a lot of our own like proprietary stuff in there that just
like middleware, right?
Yeah. Like stuff that.
It's not as easy as just like a single player game having source code. Yeah, pretty much drained. We've had already answered. Someone just asked if we have
It's not impossible that we might do that, honestly. Yeah, it might be possible.
Referring to which one, sorry?
Oh, like hosting their own community servers.
Yeah, we can just drop in the chat. That's pretty much all we can get out of the Discord and actually answer the questions right now. Do we have more events?
Kickstarter goal? No, I mean, I just want to address the Kickstarter goal stuff, right? We have long had, and I released a blog post about this, right? If people don't feel like they can wait for like desktop, because that's less likely to happen now, there's a format to submit for a refund, right? And
we've been doing desktop refunds for a while.
And I continue to offer that. We continue to offer that. I would say that are there certain things that we didn't deliver on? There are certain things that we would still like to deliver on. How about that? I haven't said that we're not going to deliver on those things, right?
I know we want to do Mineko. Someone's just asking.
Yeah. Like the only thing that's like that I've really talked about is desktop, right? Mineko is still like, I still want to do Mineko, and that's something that could work in both modes and would be pretty easy to port between both modes. Auction house, like maybe we can't get a full version of that, but we could release trading, right? We could implement. We already have a prototype of trading. Maybe that would go some way to fulfilling that. So we still want to do a lot of this stuff, you guys. It's just, it's we got to make the game successful, right? Like, because guess what? A ton of Kickstarters do way worse, and they do way worse because they never hit takeoff velocity, so they're not able to fulfill their commitments. And we've tried our best to fulfill our commitments based on what resources we have to work on the game. And I'm still like, I'd still like to commit to fulfilling most of those commitments, because Kickstarter backers are our OG people. Yeah. And Also, I'd like to know which one of you guys that were complaining about this right now are Kickstarter backers, or are you guys just trying to troll us right now?
I mean, we did invest a lot of time getting those statues, and I mean, it's not
Like, hey, I'll talk to the Kickstarter backers. Yeah, I'll talk to the Kickstarter backers. Good.
You're 2
Thank
hours
you.
late for this Kickstarter.
Thank you.
Aw.
The Kickstarter backers
I
have
mean,
been
I
pretty
was a backer
reasonable.
too.
Like, I've seen a lot of greens, a lot of people in here that seem like they're just trying to stir shit up. I don't understand. It's like, I think we've spent 2 years working on this game. We've been running it at a loss. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's reasonable to say like we don't care about the game or we're just like trying to like not fulfill our promises. We only hire people that are extremely passionate and care about the community of the game. I am a troll, just to be honest.
Whoa, that's a big one.
I don't know if there's anything unreasonable you've said, Quizzical Cat. It's like we have a lot of people. We have a lot of. That's something we're open to discussing. Lenara, what cosmetics?
right. Yeah.
That's something we're open to discussing.
Mm-hmm.
We have discussed it, but it's something we're open to discussing.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same character rank, right?
Oh, people are asking about timeline, like release date. It's not a lot. No release date confirmed at this time.
Kate was just mentioning that there's Infinite Realms on Steam already, but this is like the subtitle to Zenith as well, so that shouldn't be a problem at all.
I think network effects are the most important thing to recognize. I'm hearing a lot of questions about how we're going to like draw people into the Last City, to like understand how powerful network effects can be. You could build I'll use TikTok as an example. You could build a short form video sharing network that's way better than TikTok today. Probably wouldn't succeed because everybody's already on TikTok, right? If Infinite Realms succeeds and everybody is playing it, like there's going to be more players that try the Last City just because it's the game, right? It's kind of like building a game in Roblox versus like a UGC platform that nobody else plays. Like who knows how good the experience is going to be in Roblox, right? But you have a ton of people there on there. Like there might be UGC, and I'm a huge fan of VRChat. I just want to be clear, huge fan of VRChat. But if somebody else released a VRChat competitor today, and there have been lots that basically have the same feature parity, but never get the number of users. Now you know why, because people have their networks and friends on VRChat, right?
One player's got several things, but we can just hammer through them fast. One was like player shops, which was something that we had previously had in the Kickstarter. They're also curious if like base building. It's a lot of things that some of this stuff wouldn't quite work with Infinite Realms. But they're curious if there's lots of people like in a world. Yeah, there's like a social hub. I'll just try and answer these for him.
Not giving up on level editing and stuff either. That is like near and dear. UGC is near and dear to my heart.
Yep.
Online social worlds and UGC, that will always be a part of Ramen VR's mission. Like we will get there. I can't get into too many details, but that hasn't changed from day one.
So is there lore between the two versions of the game? I see Carlos smiling.
There is, but we will like talk about that at a later date.
Yeah.
That we're saving that for a reveal. Lots of floating islands, lots of things that are fractured in the new game. I don't know what else I can. But anyways, all right, let's keep going.
me scroll through here as well while they're typing. There's a lot of good
You guys-
questions, guys. Like, if we're skipping stuff, it's probably because we can't talk about it right now. That's part of a marketing beat or something like that. So just we're not trying to ignore things just for the sake of it. We just want to answer the ones
I
we
am
can't
like
answer.
actively trying to address like the most controversial comments.
Yeah.
So, like, I hope you guys
You
see
are,
that. I'm not
definitely.
shying away from any of the shit.
Seriously, how many developers get on a video call with their players and
Or just like I'm
Like,
just like here
we-
listening to like half of you guys yell at us, which is totally fine. You know, I understand. The funny thing is, like, I do understand where you guys are coming from, right? We really do. I mean, like, we really, really do. But at the same time, we have to occasionally for ourselves and the decisions that we're making. You guys wouldn't want us to just like be fake with you, right? Like, you want us to be real. This is what an AMA is for, and what I'm doing is being real with you guys, even if it might piss some of you guys off and start a flame war or whatever, because I'm too old to not do that. I'm just like, I'm at the point in my life. We're at the point in our lives where we would rather be real with you than fakesters. So yeah.
Like, yeah, we were right in chat when we announced it. We were there trying to answer all your questions. We're trying to get it all out there. One that keeps coming up is people want to know if they can pick
Some
their
of you are
cosmetic.
yelling. You're not yelling, but some of you are yelling.
But yeah, they're curious if they could pick their cosmetic if they're a previous player.
like the free cosmetic that's coming?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I mean, everybody's just gonna get the free cosmetic because that's gonna be we only gonna have one set of cosmetic on launch day. You're gonna get the full set.
To start.
It's gonna be like a full outfit, right?
Yes.
And then you will get every piece of that outfit. Whereas for new players, they're gonna have to buy each one individually.
Yeah, we're rolling out IAP slowly.
There's no drama. It's just being real with y'all.
Will there be new classes / weapons?
I don't know about classes.
Oh,
Classes?
yeah, you can talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, we're rolling with a classless system. So, I mean, I can see us. Yeah, there should be new abilities and something that will continually evolve through the life cycle of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Is Infinite Realms going to have a skill tree?
Yes.
Yeah, that was easy. Okay, let me scroll back up.
Is what's overall been
What's been the hardest thing to develop? And so building a multiplayer online, like cross-platform on all the VR major platforms, like
a thick skin.
it's yeah.
Oh,
No,
Yeah, Sam is staring at the net code like
bow. But no, I mean, we've been building an MMO, right? Everything is
hard.
Everything is difficult. Yeah, but I think one of the things I'm most proud of is kind of the like seamless instancing is really, really cool.
yeah.
That is really cool. Like the way that you just jump out and you're instantly somewhere else. That's tech that, it's like AAA tech, right? And we were able to build that as a small team. And like, it's a game changer, it's a game changer for the game.
What was your
Yeah,
most
that's a good question earlier, too.
most fun thing to develop? We'll probably have different answers if we think.
Yeah, you guys can each go.
Can we talk about all the locomotion stuff? We revealed the grind rails.
Yeah.
No, I mean, locomotion stuff is cool. I mean, like, grind rails are near and dear to my heart. I worked on the old Tony Hawk games back in the day, so that shit was fun. Improved grappling hook is awesome. So
Double, I like it. That's
Yeah.
so fun.
Grapple Hook came a long way. Probably most recently is Seijiko.
Yes.
Just because of how much hard work that took. Like me, Sam, and VoxLab being on calls trying to figure out why is Seijiko porting herself to another instance while
I
you're
mean, Sam Boy, right? We don't know
That's
what
my
his
favorite
real
one.
name
Sam's his real name.
We
Is
don't know what his real name is. It says Sam in the.
Oh yeah.
All right, never
I thought
mind.
you were joking because it's
I was joking. I was literally joking. Yes.
yeah, but seeing how dynamic Seijiko was as a boss, like she's literally jumping up on pillars and shooting at you, and then has these pretty cool move sets. That was refreshing for me personally to work on. How about you, Andy? What's been your most
What's your
favorite?
favorite thing?
I think I like everything that you guys just said. You know, while the Infinite Realm stuff, like just overall, I'm really excited about the game. And you know, I know there's a lot of like people are concerned, but I hope you guys actually try it and just be objective and try to just approach it with a fresh pair of eyes, and hopefully you guys actually have some fun playing it, right? And it's a free experience anyways, so just give it a shot. And the reason why I'm saying that is because, you know, it's figuring out how to take elements of the game, of the Last City, and recombining them in a completely new experience and mode was very, very challenging. And you know, I think that it's like really fun now. It's getting better and better every day, and it's only going to get better post launch as well. And it's a good solid foundation to build off of as well, right? Like a lot of the systems we built are scalable, so that, you know, when it succeeds, we can build on top of it, which is very different from the Last City, right? Like,
Right.
partially due to the fact that we did this with Kickstarter money and we didn't have enough funds at the time. But we've really kind of taken the time to try to build scalable and extensible systems this time around that will be more supportive of new content going forward.
Yeah, I'm super excited about the prop gen stuff. I mean, that system, the more we feed it, the better it's going to be. And that's something that we can keep on doing. It's going to be awesome.
A few people asked if we're going to have more cosmetic options, like different hairstyles, things like that.
Yes.
Okay, that's easy. That's a good one. Limited time events.
Hmm?
Or any thought on making limited time events going on in the world?
That would be interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, we started Ramen VR in 2019, and but like I think it's been a part of my dream since I was a kid. You know, like I don't know. It's always been like, hey, I would love to be able to live in this virtual world, right, where I can build friendships and bonds that are stronger or as strong as the ones that I have in real life.
That's a good question too. I'm going to paraphrase it a little bit or to expand on it. So what platforms is Infinite Realms going to be going on to?
It's going to be going on to all of the platforms that the Last City is on. We're not sure about. We're not sure about the launch dates of each platform, but it will be on all the platforms.
They're currently supported.
And you won't have to wait long for any of the platforms, is what I'll say. It's coming soon.
Will we rework PvP?
There's no plan to do so right now. It would need to be really, Well, okay, I'll give you guys like one of the things that people have talked about besides the balance is the latency and the client side prediction and all of the stuff that make it not fun to PvP. So what do we have to fix first? We have to fix the latency, we have to fix the lag, we have to fix the client side prediction so that it feels more fair and real, right? That's before we even do any of the PvP stuff. So our focus is on that.
Are the two versions going to be separate clients or in one? It's going to be in one.
Mm-hmm.
Zenith Nexus. It's going to be one.
One person just followed up with, is Infinite Realms going to come to Quest 1 and PSVR? We can just say no on that one.
Mm-hmm. No.
The Quest 1 doesn't even support what we're doing.
Is that stuff actually, hey Sam, and maybe I'll get butchered for saying this, but are the latency improvements that we're making, are they going to improve both? Cool. So hey, that's one thing we're doing to make latency better. Underlying server architecture should make the game feel less laggy.
Yeah, we're working on that as we speak. So. This is oh my! Oh wow!
What is this?
Oh, Zenith bot.
That's the bot. Thanks, Zenith bot. That
Thanks,
came up a couple times already. It's like, why didn't you make Infinite Realm mechanics part of the Last City?
Well, no, you're getting Lex, but you're no, I don't know what else to say. I mean, I've tried to answer it. It feels like at this point, people are kind of, I'm sorry, like that we can't make all of the updates we'd like to the MMO as we would, right? But it can't. Yeah, again, this is part of taking responsibility, right? We just can't. We don't have the resources to do that right now, but we want to, right?
Yeah, I understand that the news might not land well with some people, and in fact make a lot of people sad. We've been sad too for months. Just thinking about this, just want to remind everyone that we've all been in this together. So make sure you take care of yourselves.
Roth, we've actually, it's because we were waiting as long as we possibly could, right? We wanted the Last City to work, and we've been trying to work on it for years now. We've been working on it for 5 years and post-launch 2 years without, running it at a loss for, again, like for better part of a year. So like, obviously we all hope that we could have made it work, right? I don't think any of us are not sad, like Christine said today.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, it's still here. I want to do like a closing statement or something. We're at time for our scheduled time. Where it's up to you guys.
I mean, I think the last thing that I'll say is, I'm truly appreciative of everything that the community has done for us and all your support, right? And we want to continue building on that. We really believe that this will be the best chance of making this happen, including both working on the free-to-play version, but also potentially getting enough resources to work on the Last City, right? And I know that while there are a few kind of toxic people, the majority of you guys are amazing, and you're just sad by some of this news, and I feel you. How could I not? This company is something I started with, a $2,000 check in my personal bank account, and my dream was to build the Last City into a success, right? And as much as you guys have played Zenith over the last couple of years, we've been working on it nonstop. It comes directly from our hearts, right? Like, that is a strong emotional attachment, which is why I can say that I fully sympathize and empathize with you guys. I feel what you guys are feeling, if not even more so, right? Imagine grinding on something not for 500, like thousands of hours, but for like 10,000 hours, right? 5, 6, 7,000 hours. That's essentially what you're talking to right now.
Sleepless nights.
Sleepless nights, all-nighters.
We go and go and go.
Stress, all for what? Just so that we can say, you know, we can't commit to updating it for now. Like, how does that? I'm not asking for your guys' sympathy. Just to be clear, I don't want that. What I want is for you guys to understand that we understand how you feel, right? And it's we know it sucks. So, but from the bottom of our hearts, I wanted to thank all of you guys for all your support throughout the years, and let's just kind of build the future of Zenith together. Let's try to make this work, right? Anything you guys want to add?
Well, I'm like speaking on behalf of like the team. There's a lot of hard work that's going into Infinite Realms, and I think, you know, there's a lot of things that we're when it finally gets released, there's a lot of things that we're really proud of. We really hope that you guys enjoy it when it finally comes out.
One thing I'll add is that everyone, I can speak for everyone on the team when I say they love what they do. We're all very lucky to be in a place where we love what we do, and we hope we can keep putting it out. What is the image in this section? How about, okay. I forgot what I was saying. We're not going to stop. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep building. We're going to keep trying our best. That's why Ramen there's a lot of VR startups and just startups in general out there that don't make it, and we're in a pretty lucky position to keep going and keep trying to make this work. So, looking on the bright side. Winters, anything you want to add?
I've been around here basically close to the beginning as well. I've seen it from every possible level, and I just believe in what we're doing. I believe in all of you guys as a community. And someone just asked if we're gonna do more draws. Absolutely, I'm gonna do more draws right after this. How about that? And you guys hopefully can get into the alpha and give it a try.
Today, tomorrow, so you can try the closed alpha version of Infinite Realms. Give it a shot. Let us know what you think. It's still early stage, but it's fun.
No, it's so all the feedback is super useful. I mean, we're still going to keep improving this thing, and we're going to keep listening to the feedback.
Thank you, everybody, and appreciate you spending the time to be real with us today.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Bow, bow.
Thank you. Bow, bow.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.